I'm here. Are you guys here? I know you're here. I can see the comments. And thank you for everybody that showed up on time because I didn't show up on time. That's my fault. I got to talking to the members on the members only and just got a little slowed down. So I apologize for that. But I see Lars was the first one I got a live chat from. So hi, Lars, Two Stall Garage, Chain Hoist Garage. I am having a wonderful day. Thank you for that. Wisconsin Andersons. Yep, doing well. Blah, blah from Austin, Texas. Fox can fix it. Yep. Hello, Rick. Okie it is. Yep. Christian, yes, I was late. Thank you for calling me out. I'll remember that. Let's see. Mariah, the car demon slayer. Well, I can definitely cut one up and make it worthless. Mike says not working or late. I'm just late. Too cool wheels. Hello, Buff and Fred. Jay, thank you for helping me out there. Thank you, Brandon, Goose. And must have had to eat. No, we did that earlier in the day. I did the old person thing, and I went to dinner early because I knew I wanted to be here and ready. And then we got talking with the members only, and yeah, so sorry. Grant is listening while working. Cool. Thank you for doing that. Busted Radio Garage. We were talking about you here in a bit or earlier. So, and Jay's hanging out in Chicago. Hello, Chain Hoist. All right. I think I've got everybody mentioned. And thank you guys for coming into this live. Thank you to all the members that came in a little early for the members only live. I appreciate each and every one of you for not only supporting me, but being a member, sharing my videos, liking, commenting. Chris, that's fine. I mean, you kind of are busy. Goose thought it was cold and windy. Well, if you're talking to me, it's a little breezy, but it's been really nice. Oh, we're talking about Chicago. Yeah, it is. It's horrible. Hog Shooter Hot Rods. All is well. I'm just bouncing like I got ADHD from project to project. Or is that ADD? Whichever it is. Super excited. Can't stay focused. Got a car that can go stupid fast and do burnouts, but has no brakes or steering. You know, practical things. Cowboy's here. Thank you. Right on time. Hobbins Hot Rods. Hot rods and 4x4s. You're not late. You're on time. Oklahoma is right now. This is the perfect environment. It is beautiful. The birds are singing. The trees are blooming. It is great. And in about 3 weeks, it's going to be hotter than you could ever imagine. And I will want to save up and not put brakes on Fred, but maybe put an air conditioner in this thing. Anyway, Gunther, yeah, if you guys want to hit the like, that helps. It's just a live, but it's a live where I get to talk to you guys and you guys get to ask me questions and I'll answer them. Hey, all the way from Argentina. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. All right. Brakes are for quitters. That's right. I feel like the brakes, we replaced them on the Plymouth Volare, but then the booster went out. So it was a double pumper to stop that Volare, and we did it highway speed all the way back from the desert. This truck has no brakes, and that's just a little less brake than I am willing to. Yeah, no, it's scary. I don't want to have no brake, especially now that it's got a V8 that's hooked up and will actually spin the tires. Both, actually. Did you guys notice that? Both wheels did the burnout. So that's freaking awesome. Who knew? I mean, obviously I didn't. Let's see. Hey, Ed from Canada. Thanks for joining in. Rick said a wizard is never late or early. A wizard arrives when he needs to. If only. I'm not a wizard. I'm kind of an idiot with a cutoff tool. Hey, Becca's here, and Nova says hi. So if you guys watched the last video, Nova made more money in that video than I did. Because of Nova, we got a sponsor. And I mentioned this to the members, but the sponsor loved that ad so much that they actually asked to use that ad for their own advertisement, and they're going to pay me additional money to use it. So thanks to Sundays for Dogs for that, and thanks to Nova, because without Nova, they wouldn't have chosen us to do that ad. So, all right. Hot Rods says 68 and windy in Texas Panhandle. All right. I know Dalton and Jess went through there yesterday. Well, they were there this morning. No, were they in the Panhandle? Where were they? Amarillo. Yeah. Christian says, how are things? Things are good. I'm watching the algorithm do its thing, and it's not completely horrible. And that is thanks to you guys that are all watching and supporting and liking and commenting. The Datsun is not doing the best it's ever done on my channel, but it's currently ranked 6 out of 10 of my top 10. So it's not the worst. It's not the best. But part of that's my problem, because the members got to see it and they loved the video. And then I had to take the video down because of a copyright strike, even though I paid for the license to use the song. Took the song out, added the sponsor ad, put it back up for the public. You guys got to see it, and it hurt the algorithm. The members did their part. They did a great job, but I couldn't continue to use that video. I had to re-upload a new one. But still, you guys like the truck, and that's what matters. I do have a hole, Jeremy, in the floor that I can Fred Flintstone it. I can do that. I just don't want to. Parachutes are coming back in style. Could I be Superman instead? Because I came from a small town in Kansas. I'd rather be Superman. Batman is kind of dark. Joe, what did I do before YouTube? Well, I was a paramedic, and I was still a paramedic while doing YouTube until just recently, when I said I kind of don't want to do that anymore. 30 years is enough. So I worked on an ambulance. I worked in Alaska, where I was on a tug. I was in a rural clinic out in the middle of nowhere, Alaska. I've been out on islands with our bears and everything else, and oil fields, and of course, hospital settings. I mean, I've kind of been everywhere, but I worked as a paramedic. It was a thankless job. I didn't want the thanks, but I would have liked to get a little more recognition, especially in the monetary part. So now I'm doing YouTube, where I get a lot of thumbs up, and that makes me happy. Daryl Mattis, his wife Sarah, says howdy. Well, hello, Sarah and Daryl. Gunther liked Jay's tour of the Lincoln grave. That is a good video. Rick says, make Nova the shop dog. So Nova has been to the shop. Nova, however, gets nervous and starts chewing on everything. And yes, she's almost 2 years old, but she's still a puppy. And I would rather her be calm and happy and not nervous. So she actually goes to work with Becca most of the time. But she does come to the shop occasionally. The other problem with Nova is Nova likes to drink anything that's liquid and on the ground. And I'm not even kidding. Well, that becomes a problem when you have a shop, because I stopped her from drinking some liquids a couple of times that she was in the shop. And I realized, okay, she just can't be on that side of the shop. I'll keep the liquids cleaned up, but at the same time, I don't want her to accidentally drink some stuff that will hurt her. Oh, let's see. Mopart's son will always be Fred the farm truck. Make stickers and shirts. It's all yours. I might start with stickers if you guys want to see some Fred the farm truck stickers. The only reason why I don't want to make shirts is the specialty shirts don't sell very well. The regular Buffs Garage shirts do well, and I appreciate every one of you that bought merch. I've had my merch person kind of taking some time off, but we're going to get right back on it and get all the latest merch purchases out as soon as possible. Let's see. What size rear is in this truck and how much can it take? I don't know, and let's find out. That's the answers. It's kind of cool because it has a carrier like a 9-inch, but obviously it's not a 9-inch, and it looks stout, like every bit as stout as like what's in a S10. And I've seen them take quite a bit before they explode. So my theory is I probably can't get parts for this one. So let's make sure it's full of fluid, blow it up, and then find something equivalent that can take the power. I might call competition, or not competition, but quick performance, and see what we can come up with. They could build me one, but that's $2,200 I don't have. We'll find something, and then we'll blow that one up and get another one. This truck is not going to disappoint. I'm not going to baby it. I want it to slay tires. I want it to destroy rear ends. I would prefer it not destroy drive shaft until I put the loop in. But, fun stuff. Let's see. Hey, Robert, 68-inch Chinook. I assume Kansas. Your Hot Rods is 80 miles south of Amarillo. Awesome. I really like going south of Amarillo to the little breakfast place called Buffs. I just enjoy it. So every time I go down to Duct Tape Drags, I've got to get off the interstate and go down that way. And I take the back way the rest of the way to Tucson. And, I enjoy going to eat at Buffs. Hey, Gunther. Gifted out 10 memberships. So if you'd had your membership 2 days ago, you would have got to see the video before everybody else. Let's see. Mitchell says, cue to the scene of Starship Troopers. Goose says Batman was an awesome car, though. Yeah, sure, he was. Jeremy will be Batman. Okay, sold. We'll do that. I'm way behind. Hog Shooter says get Brunt Boot sponsor and Flintstone it. I mean, I'm currently wearing them. You can't see it. It's not on camera. But I'm currently wearing Brunt boots. And I'll try to fast forward. So if I miss somebody, I'm sorry. Two Babes likes the Datsun swap. Cool. Cowboy's going to master the algorithm. So I was in the show Northern Exposure. No, but I watched the show. I'm not that old to where I watched it on TV, but I wasn't in it. I did think about starting a YouTube channel when I was in Alaska, and it probably would have done good, except getting parts up there at the time was next to impossible. So if I had found a car that wasn't complete Swiss cheese and then tried to put it together, there's no way I could have done it every week. But I could have probably taken you out to see scenery or fishing or hunting, and maybe it would have been an adventure channel. I don't know. I thought about doing it when I was there. Hey, Casey. Thanks for the thumbs up. Mike Brunello. Am I really putting a 318 in that little truck? Do you guys want to answer him? It's in there. It's done. It will come out again because I want to put an oil filter relocation kit on it. I'm looking at a mini torque starter, but right now everything fits. But I might have the mini torque sitting on the shelf in case it ever goes out. Swap that one, put a new one in. It's in there. It's staying. Let's see. Everybody's saying brakes are for quitters. Dave Rudman, why did my video do better than Dalton's? I love that collab. If you're talking about the Volare, I don't know. I thought his video was excellent. I did a lot of the camera work on his video. I don't know. I mean, overall, his got more views than mine, but it did kind of stall, and I'm really disappointed because it was a good video. We had a lot of fun. Both of his videos were great, and they both kind of drugged. So I'm going to say I'm the only variable there. Having me on the channel maybe slowed him down, but having him on my channel, helped. Hey, Rick, thanks for that. That'll help me with gas money tomorrow when I got to go get parts. I truly appreciate that. Goose, what about a Fred patch for a hat? If I can find somebody that makes patches for a reasonable price, can't even talk, I will look into that. I've talked to a few people that do sell patches on their merch site and or know some people, but patches are a little harder to get. But if I find them, I'll see what I can do. But I'll definitely start with stickers if you guys will buy them. And then maybe we'll progress. Maybe we'll go to a patch, and then maybe we'll progress and make a t-shirt. Let's see. Now we're talking to each other. Michael, tap hello. All right. So blah, blah was really vocal on the video to let me know that a 4-speed manual transmission is half the size of a 904, and we give more room in the floor and all that. The reason why I didn't do the research and set it up that way was because I had 2 things that I wasn't using, and I wanted to make one thing that I would use. To do this correctly means time, money, and research. I did none of those things, and I hope that came through in the video. What I ended up doing was taking 2 things that did not go together and cut until they fit together. And it's tight. We're talking 1/8 of an inch in some areas, but everything fits. Nothing's touching where it shouldn't be. And I'll be honest, I'm happy with it. Could I later put in a manual? Heck yes. Will I? Maybe. I really like the idea of a manual in that truck again. But for now, we got what we got. I'm going to repurpose the clutch pedal into a brake pedal because I have all of that structure still there. And then I will put in a gas pedal because it's just a floor mounted little pedal anyway. We're going to make it work the way it is. And then we will improve it along the way because eventually it's going to be fast enough that they're going to make me put a cert cage in there. And the stealthy aspect of the truck will kind of be lost. It'll still be awesome. It'll still be fun, but it'll no longer just be a sleeper truck. It's going to look like a race truck. And so by that point, it'll probably get a whole new floor pan. It'll get custom roll cage and all that stuff. But for now, how cheap can we do this and still not die? All right. H-Dog says Fred's going to be sweet. Yes, he is. JB's here. JB's the king of little fast trucks. Thanks for coming in, JB. Yes, blah, blah. I know. It's for the Datsun with the 318. I get it. All right. I'm way, way behind. Sorry, guys. Brandon says it right there. Break or build, break, build is fun as long as it doesn't get too expensive. Think about that. We're trying to keep the cost low. Some things, seat belts, you got to spend the money on things, right? Certain things, brakes, maybe right now, no, but I will. We're going to get there to where it is fairly safe. I don't die immediately, and we have fun with it. Do burnouts, take it down the drag strip. If it gets too fast, then we got to do other things, and that's when it gets expensive. So let's see. All right. If I miss a comment or question, just put it back in there because I'm going to zoom to the bottom. Yes, blah, blah. You are helping. Don't think that you're not. Just understand I'm right now using what I got and doing it as cheap as possible. Mitchell liked it. Reminded him of the old YouTube that he loved. Bunch of farm boys putting way too big engines in the truck. It reminds me of why I got into this to begin with. I loved learning about muscle cars and how they went and said, hey, I could put this big engine in that little car and make it killer. And that's how we got the GTO. That's why I mentioned that story in the video, because that's kind of where I fell in love with stuff like that. And of course, watching TV and movie cars do things that aren't actually possible in the combinations that they came with. Like, you're not going to do a lot of the stunts that Smokey and the Bandit did with a factory Trans Am like that. You're going to have to do some stuff. And same with the Dukes of Hazzard, all of that. But still love the cars. I loved, you know, the engines revving and shooting rocks and dirt and jumping closed bridges, and just all of that's fun. So to take a little truck that was kind of, you know, it did move until the starter seized up, and now making it something that literally is going to roast tires every single time I put my foot into it, it's just going to be a blast. And so I'm now having fun. I'm having a lot of fun. And if you guys want to join along, keep watching. We're going to do more of it. All right. I don't want to back up too far. I was afraid that people were going to bring up the farm truck reference. So farm truck and Asian, those two have already got their brand figured out. And I didn't want to glob onto that. But what I'll say is, I'm going for the fact that he literally was a farm truck. Fred the Little Farm Truck was a farm truck. And that's I didn't want to make any other comparisons. Wisconsin Andersons, I apologize. I started the first Buff's Adventure video and editing it, and I felt like I was taking my mind off of Buff's Garage. And I feel like until Buff's Garage is stable and reliable, I don't want to put too much effort into other places. It's one thing to say, hey, I've got my channel, I got my brand, I've got my merch. Now let's jump and do something else. It's like, let's make sure we're doing this the best we can do it. And then when this is running smoothly and we're trucking along with good momentum, I've already got a couple of Buff's Adventures videos that I could put together pretty quick and put out. And they're not really time specific. So they're still going to hold up well to whatever audience. So I will, when this channel's doing good, I'll look at that second channel and really put the effort into it. Hopefully one of you guys could answer that, because I don't know. I do watch Kevin occasionally, but I haven't in a while. I agree. So right now what we're wrestling with as a family is, do we drive the Datsun all the way to Tucson? Or do we take the motor home and save on hotels and tow him? If I tow him, most of you aren't going to get upset. But my real car guy friends will, because they drive their stuff. They drive their stuff from point A to point B and all the nonsense that happens along the way. Towing him probably isn't going to get great views. So I do plan on trying to get him there, though. I think if we can sneak him into the Battle of the Beaters, he's going to be a showstopper. I agree, Jay High. Everything except the be careful part. Sometimes you got to risk a little bit. Fast Freddy. I like that. That's pretty cool. All right. I'm going to fast forward again because I am getting way behind. You guys are really being supportive tonight and putting out lots of comments. I love that. Oh, Brandon, he was working on a rotary Mini. Yeah, so they're out there. The original Maserati was a rotary that didn't have a rotary in it anymore. Build Season has that truck. Okay. Let's see. All right, Gregory, thank you. I already know the answer if I ask Jay. I already know the answer if I ask Dalton. I already know the answer if I ask my friends. They're all going to say, you got to drive it. And I've already warned Becca because she's going to duct tape with me. We might be driving that little truck. I'd love to have the motorhome because it has AC, it has a comfortable bed, refrigerator, and it would save us a lot in hotel costs. But you're not driving a truck that you built across the country if you're trailering it. So, all right. If push comes to shove, it might get trailered, but right now we'll talk about how we're going to drive it there. All right. Yep, there's Casey. Casey is legit. Casey takes his car, the Tire Fire Camaro, and he drives it all over the country to burnout competitions. Goes to the burnout competition, literally sets the rear of the car on fire during the burnout competition, changes the tires, and drives home. He lives the life. He walks the walk. Jay out there with the merch plug. Thanks, man. So Rick is like me. I'm trying to be practical and be like, okay, I can take the motor home. I can save myself the hotel fees all the way there. And when we do one of the stops, we'll probably stop at Dalton's new place out west, and then we'll have our motor home. We don't have to take up space in his house. That was my thought. Maybe we take the motorhome to his house and then drive the truck from there. Maybe we'll get less hate that way. I don't know. We'll figure it out, and you guys will know before everybody else. All right, fast forward. You guys are doing good. Lots of comments. Appreciate all of you. Yes, I have life insurance, Becca. We'll get you on there. Yeah, I don't think Becca wants to drive a 30-foot motorhome. And if there's going to be two of us driving and one of them's not the motorhome, I don't think she wants to drive the Datsun either. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. All right. Fast forward. Oh my goodness. Don't forget, guys, you need some new lug nuts. Hit up lugnutguys.com. We appreciate Jeff. Jeremy, it's not that she can't learn. She's more farm girl than most people will give her credit for. She's supposed to be a passenger princess, and she can't be a passenger princess if she's driving something. Just putting that out there. Oh, see, Becca's all about the passenger life. I mean, there you go. If I'm going to drive that thing very far, insulate it really well. All right, so tell me about that. If you go to get a factory car, you've got metal, you got an underlayment or insulation layer, and then flooring, whether it's rubber or carpet or whatever. Okay, so I did that in Falconstein. You guys saw it. I put the insulation there, but the foil, the shiny side was up. And I thought, that seems really odd because shouldn't the shiny side be down? Maybe not what touches the metal, but on the outside of the body, under the skin, to reflect the heat off of it. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about where I had to cut out the firewall on Fred, the little Datsun. I'm thinking to create like a dog house like you have in like a van. And the idea being I can get to the distributor. I could pull the distributor from the driver's seat. I can literally adjust the timing from the driver's seat. I can do that now. But if I'm trying to make adjustments, we can't pull the engine at the track. But what we can do is maybe pull that doghouse off where the firewall and the transmission tunnel are missing now, we'll create a doghouse, put it in there, and have it be quick release. But if I do that, should I just insulate the inside of that like you would find on a van? Because a van doghouse is insulated on the inside versus the car side of it. It's the outside of the vehicle. But anyway, help me out with that. Falconstein doesn't have windows, but there's a lot of heat coming up through the floor. Hey, Mitchell used lug nut, guys. Thanks for that. Keep supporting Jeff, and if you do, tell him Buff sent you. Van style doghouse. You guys know what I'm saying. Brandon, yep, you get it. It's not really a doghouse, but it's that same concept. Is it's going to be the firewall and the trans tunnel. We're just going to put in metal there where there's no metal now, and it's going to have a nice little curve to it, so nothing touches. And then when I go to a track or I need to make an adjustment, I can literally pop the connectors off, whatever I use. It'll be insulated, it'll be sealed up, but then we can just pop it out, get to everything we need to get to, then we can put it back in. Yes, Becca did drive. And she can drive a farm truck. She can drive, she can pull a trailer. She can drive manual. None of that's the issue. It's just she has excelled at her life at everything she's done. And now she is trying to achieve the top tier status as passenger princess. And you can't do that if you're driving. Oh, good. If it's too loud, you're too old. He agrees. Doghouse is a good idea. How do you say that Buff, Dalton, and Ira sent me? Well, Jeff's in the chat. Just tell him now. But I don't know if there's a comment section on his website because I'm kind of spoiled. I have gone to his website, but I often just message him and say, hey, Jeff, help me out. What do we got? What do you got for me? I need some lug nuts. What kind of wheels can you help me find? Any new vids on Falconstein? Dave, I've got them in the works. I'm going to try to get this Datsun to running, driving, stopping status in the next video. And then we'll go back. Falconstein's going to get a video right before I'm almost positive, unless something fails, I'm almost positive I'm going to take him to Hot Rod Power Tour. Becca's not going, so windows, heat, all that optional, AC, I should say, not heat, but all of that being optional won't bother her because she won't be there. And that also makes it easier for me. If I break down, I'm the one stranded, not her and I. So Falconstein's probably going to be going on Hot Rod Power Tour, and I will hold the video until then because other than fixing the steering and the brakes, he's pretty much ready for Hot Rod Power Tour. I would like to put a paint job on him, but I'm fine taking him as is because Hog Shooter Hot Rods right here is going to help me at some point. We were talking within the month, but then I built a Datsun. So it's my fault. Sorry. But he's going to at least maybe then still consider helping me with the paint. And sounds like I have a bear outside. Okay. There is no footwell. Goose. Sorry. It's gone. If you didn't get a good look at that whenever I shot this video, I'll make sure you see it in the next one because where the pedals were is now all the way over here. But we'll try to make it work. All right. Let's see. Yes. Well, that's why the shop has a couch. All right, there's an answer to my insulation question. Hog Shooter Hot Rod says engine side would work if you make the insulation stay. I say inside and out to keep you from touching the hot metal. So what I'm thinking is it'll stay away from the exhaust and all that, but we'll build the bump out where the firewall and the trans tunnel are. We'll build them up just enough that I can put that, I don't know, it's like 1/2 inch thick insulation and it's foil on the one side and then it's adhesive on the other. We'll stick it in there and you won't really even see it. Well, you might see it a little bit, but you shouldn't see much of it from even looking under the hood. But if it can help keep the heat coming up through the floor, that would be great. Oh, there you go, Brandon. Using big words like bulkhead. We're still not going to have any foot room, but but yeah, bulkhead is the more appropriate term. Cup holders, that's an absolute. Got to have that. I hate to say it. I think I'm going to put a floor shifter in it, and because it was a standard already, and I've got a floor shifter. So if we can put a floor shifter in there, we just got to figure out how to put some cup holders around it. There you go, Mitchell. We appreciate all of you. I do have a code. I believe Dalton has a code. Jay probably has a code too. Whichever one gets you the best deal is fine with me. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you use a code that does get you a better deal. Yeah, there you go. Hey, Dave. It is sweet. Look at this guy. He's already got the material, guys, to work on Falconstein. So if you haven't subscribed to Hog Shooter Hot Rods, he's got cool cars. He does amazing paint work. He's an instructor for the college doing this stuff. Go hit him up and give him a follow. Give him a thumbs up. Tell him thank you because he's already committed to helping me with Falconstein. I've kind of delayed the process because I started a new project without finishing the first one. So thank you very much for that. It does sound miserable, but that's what makes it fun. When you get out of the car, you're the happiest person in the world because you're not in the car anymore. I don't have room for a wheelbarrow, Andre. I thought about it. It's an old roadkill. I mean, it's really old, but roadkill did it, but other people have done it. I don't have room for it. I think we can get really creative. Birdsong, when I was in Vegas, showed me some panel bending techniques for sheet metal that I think I can make work. So we'll see. You guys will see it in the video. Yep. Toasty ride. Let's see. I thought about that. Thank you for bringing that up. I was thinking that. I'm not 100% committed with how we're going to put the fasteners in, but I do want there to be a seal around it, whether I use cheap camper, seal tape like they had on the camper tops, or I actually get something legit that'll hold up. Whatever we are to keep the outside out and the inside in. That's the goal. All right. Yes, those are always fun. Drive really, really fast and hope they don't fall off. Dave Rudman, keep the front the way it is. It's part of the Falconstein. Okay. What we're talking about is just painting it and making it one color. So we didn't want to necessarily change much else, but I do need it to steer again. It doesn't do that. I need to clean out the fuel tank because it is clogging that fuel filter every time I drive it now. And the brakes kind of suck. So we're going to fix the brakes, the steering, and the fuel. And let's see if it'll make it all the way on Hot Rod Power Tour. Hey, Metal Art Customs, thanks for coming in. Thanks for BRG for sending you. That's awesome. He watched 15 minutes of the first video I seen. I was dropping the Mopar and the Datsun. Got me to subscribe. I'll finish watching it when my premiere starts. And thanks for coming over. I'm glad you like it. I hope that you stick with it. And I hope you stay for the next video and the next one after that. And we just keep you on the hook. Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab dropping in until 7, which I'm going to guess means Dr. Art's going live at 7. So if you want to watch a good little live stream, Dr. Art's is coming up at 7. If we're talking about Becca doing a cardboard cutout, I mean, she wants to do that. I mean, I have a cardboard cutout of Junior over there that somebody gave me, and he just kind of peeks up every once in a while. So watch for him in the video. Blah, blah. So here's the thing with tractor paint. I like it, but Hog Shooter Hot Rod says he gets like Bill Nye the Science Guy on this stuff. He can explain at a chemical level why car paint is better than tractor paint. It's not that it's so the premise of the video that Hog Shooter and are gonna do together is, can we paint Falconstein as cheap costing and easy with car paint as you could with tractor paint? Meaning we're going to use bargain paints, but good stuff, but bargain. And we're going to do some techniques that will make it easier for basically anybody to do it. You have to remember, he is an instructor, so he knows how to teach people how to do it. I believe that'll be a good video, is can we do it cheaper than tractor paint? Tractor paint works, but if you don't have everything just right, as we learned with a certain vehicle, then it never dries. And he explains why that happens. And we'll do that in the video too. John is here from Mad Scientist Garage. I hope he's underneath a vehicle working on it right now. Halfwit popped in here. She should get a cardboard cutout of herself and still drive. Yeah, I could see that. Yep. Sorry, Gunther's right. We already did on the Travel All and the A-Team van. I mean, let's be clear. Casey's Customs is copying Dalton. And Casey's a nice guy, and he does cool stuff. Dalton's a nice guy and does cool stuff, but tractor paint does work, and it is cheap. Oh, good. He found me through Pole Barn Garage. Bought the desert car. Yep. That was not that long ago. It was December. And yeah, now I just destroyed the car that got 106,000 views to put it in a Datsun. Can you seal tractor paint? Paint guys? Answer. Okay, Hog Shooter's right. So faster and better. He's going to do it faster and better than tractor paint. And preferably about the same price. They have been doing well with tractor paint. All right, we're going to skip the tractor paint. You guys get the idea. What color would I paint Falconstein? Well, right now, a base of white is where we're going to start. It's going to hide a lot, and it's quick and easy and fairly cheap. I have definitely been looking a lot at the comments, and the comments are saying a red, white, and blue theme. I don't know where we're going with that. Let's just stick with the white for starters, and then we can, as they say, church it up as we go. I do like the idea of red, white, and blue, but I'm not going to do an independent Chevelle kind of paint job. I'm not going to do that. Well, hello, that 70s channel. And that right there is why I don't do bedliner paint jobs. Even if done right, they are a pain in the butt if you change your mind later. I don't like them. It's fine. People want to do it. Do it. I'm not into it. Just not my thing. I don't like black rims either. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate you coming however you got here. I appreciate the hell out of Dalton, and he knows that. So, yep. Exactly, Mitchell. White. And you're all right. It covers a lot because it's not whether or not I know how to paint. It's whether or not I can do body work. And the answer is you already know the answer. I don't do body work very well. I think it's going to be hard for Hog Shooter Hot Rods to paint over my horrible body work, but we'll get through it and it's going to look great. And especially on camera, it's going to look good. So, oh, look at this. He's already got an idea. Keep those ideas coming and we'll figure it out. We'll come up with something. All right. What color for Fred? So I love the kind of olive green color that Fred is, but it's been sitting out in the desert, or I say desert, the dry air of Texas for so long, baking in the sun, that I thought it was all chalky and oxidized and kind of gray white, like, paint does. It burns, right? Well, here's what I learned. After I pressure washed Fred, the inside pieces are still that olive green, almost a yellow green color. But the fenders, the doors, they're gray. So what do you think happened there? I can tell you what happened. I think the farmer saw his truck was rusting, and so he found gray primer and he shot gray primer. That truck then sat out with primer, which is why you don't primer your vehicle and not paint it. Because what happened? All the primer has been burned off. So there is still gray primer there, and then it's rusted through in all the certain spots. He's a lot of colors. So I guess he's patina right now. And for now, we're going to leave him patina. I want him to look like a dirty old beat up farm truck. I'm not going to fix any of the dents. There's almost no rust except where I already cut the floor out. We're just not going to fix any of that. I want him to roll into duct tape drags looking like a beat up little farm truck. And hopefully I can sneak him in there and nobody knows what's going on. And then after they stamp my approval and get me into the Battle of the Beaters, then we'll fire him up and we'll do some fun stuff. But not until he gets voted in. Yes, I found that out, Dizzy Izzy, when I painted the Travelall. Yes, pretty much, Goose. He's not been painted multiple colors per se. He just got primered. And so that beautiful olive green shows through, but then so does all the rust. And I say rust, it's surface rust. It's nothing structural. That's what I'm thinking, Brandon. I got the idea because, you see guys do that anyway. But when Matt from, what is it? Matt's Off-Road. Is that his channel? Off-Road Rescue, I think is what it's called. I got to talking to him while I was in the lineup, and I was in the A-Team van, enjoying the AC, by the way. And we got to chatting, and they literally pushed that car all the way from the staging lanes all the way around to get judged. Part of it is they didn't want the car to overheat, but also you don't know what you got. And so you can literally, and this happened to Jay from Irish Outlaw Garage, you might actually get judged without ever opening the hood. I never opened the hood on the A-Team van. I just told him it's a stock, Chevy engine, and they let me go. Tony Angelo looked for the nitrous oxide lines, but you can't see much in a van. So I could have hid something and they wouldn't known. So if we can get Fred up there with the stock little 6-inch skinnies on there and maybe not have him start up or make sure he's muffled really, really, really well, I think he'll get voted in. And then we'll open header run him down the track, change the rear tires, that kind of thing. No, Bill, I'm not going to camo him. I'm going to leave him his farm stealthy camo that he is. He's going to blend in. The only reason why he stands out is because he's old. Oh, well, there's a concept. Blah, blah knows what I'm doing. Engine's in. It runs. Let's not focus on the way I built the drive shaft. Let's just say it does turn the rear tires, and I could take him around the block if I had steering and brakes. So do the basics. Make that work. Then we'll worry about the pretty stuff later. That's why we're talking about Falconstein. I've got, well, the steering broke, but it's just the rag joint. So once I get the steering and the brakes dialed in and clean out the fuel tank, and Falconstein's ready for paint. I hate to say it, but that project's almost done. He's probably got one more video in him, and then there's really no point in having him on there anymore. Cruising with Kevin's doing another project. He's trying to play the YouTube game just like the rest of us. Thank you, Gunther. I hate to say I was struggling because I do watch Matt occasionally. I saw he shaved his beard off. Yeah, they had no choice. Basically, Jay pulls up in the ambulance and they're trying to vote. And before they even get to talk to Jay, people are already trying to vote him in. So it is a crowd thing. The crowd votes you in. So we'll just hope that most of you guys, if you're there, support me and don't call me bogus. And everybody else doesn't know. And then we'll just sneak old Fred the farm truck right on in. Will he beat the turbo cars? No. Will he beat the LS swapped stuff? No. Will he be a riot? Absolutely. And as long as you guys buy some merch, I'll make sure I have enough tires to take him out in the burnout pit too. Preferably after he does a run. I'd like him to go do a run first down the track and then maybe do the burnout pit. I don't want to blow him up on the burnout pit. Chain hoist, electric cutouts, maybe. I've just heard they're really unreliable. I may go as far as just doing like a joint that we hook up onto our open exhaust. I said open headers. You guys saw they're just manifolds, but I may come down, and hook on and just put some mufflers in there to muffle it really, really, really well. And then when we go to race, we just unbolt them and we're all wide open then. Half widths, no. Nothing, because it's so close to duct tape, and duct tape's such a big event that it's huge for my channel. It's hard for me to go to No Name where, no offense to John Wilburn, I just talked to him and he's going to help me with the 904 transmission. Very supportive Wilburn, but I might pick up a sub or two if I go to No Name. But if I go to duct tape, I can pick up thousands. And when you're doing it as a job, it's like fishing for goldfish in your aquarium or going to a lake to fish. Which one's going to get you the bigger fish? So that's kind of where I'm at. Nothing against John or No Name. John's a friend of mine. Like I said, he's going to help me with building a new 904. So he likes me enough to help do that. What are you talking about, Kevin? I don't have an LS sitting right here in the shop waiting to go into something. No one would ever watch an LS swap. Why would I want to do that? Just be patient, Kevin. Just because you know doesn't mean everyone should know. There you go. It's mostly stock. It is mostly stock. I mean, if we get bored, you guys as well, if we get bored between now and September, can we put a cam in it? Yep. Can we do, well, I already did the Chinese intake, but the Chinese carb is leaking. So I not only had to buy a new grinder, but I had to buy a new carburetor. And I didn't go Chinese this time. I bought an Edelbrock that basically looks exactly like the Chinese one that's in it. But think about it. Chinese Edelbrock, real Edelbrock, there's several $100s difference there. Thankfully, I have a payment plan that I put it on, and I'll be able to pay it off probably by this time next year. But it will have a Edelbrock on it. And maybe someday we can put some forced induction type stuff on it. And then I got to buy another carburetor, and because I have two. Let's start with one, get it running good and stopping good. Tom Lemaster. Sorry, Tom, I addressed it earlier. I'll address it again. My merch person was on vacation, and I apologize. I didn't let you guys know that, but I appreciate it. Everything's going out probably this week. So I got hats, shirts, stickers, hoodies. Everything's getting boxed up and ready to go. So I do apologize for any delay. That's what happens when we do it in-house. It's not as fast as when you go through like somebody else. I don't have a dedicated merch person that sits there and is ready to put it out the next day. So I do apologize. I appreciate your patience. Get your order out right away. It does have the idle walk for now, but if you watch this last video, it's leaking like crazy. And it's not something that I'm going to try to take apart and fix when I can just swap it out with something else. Do I get thousands of subs going to duct tape? No. I get hundreds of mine that show up, but here's what happens. There are thousands of people there who meet me, who see my vehicles, who watched me. I was in David Freiberger's video. I was in Vice Grip Garage's video. I was in Jay Irish Outlaw Garage's video. I was in Pole Barn Garage's video. I was in all these other people's videos. So not only did I meet them, they saw my vehicles. They talked to me one-on-one. They bought merch while they were there. I added thousands of subscribers when I went. Plus the drive there, the drive back, you get subs the whole way. Nothing against No Name at all. But I definitely get more subs going to duct tape. Yep, even Kevin was in the video. I met Kevin and his wife at duct tape. Yes, Mike, I could rebuild it. But if John wants to rebuild it, like he finds joy in building one, and he's got the manual, what does he call it? The reverse manual valve body with trans brake. If he wants to do it, I'd rather him do it, and then I can just put it in there. Did I? Yes, I did. My neighbor came out. He watched this whole thing happen, and he came out of his house, and he saw the camera. He knows I'm on YouTube and all this, and he goes, "Did you just bury a die grinder in your yard?" I said, yeah, I did. And he goes, "What happened?" And I told him what happened. And, you get attached to a tool like that, and you don't want to just throw it in the garbage. And, we sat, talked about it, and kind of laughed and had a beer, and away we went. All right. Yeah, me too. If I could afford one, I would put one in my 63. Thank you, Tom, for asking. I actually wanted to mention that. I think I did mention it earlier, but I'm glad you brought it up again, Tom. That was very important. The merch does keep things moving around here. And it's not that I take your money and not deliver. You'll get it. As long as USPS doesn't screw you around. I've had like 5 orders messed with because of USPS. I will then make your order again and resend it at my own cost. And I have done that. So it's great that I get the order. It sucks that I lose all the money when I have to send it twice, but I will make sure you guys get your merch. There you go. See, it's not that I don't like watching the guys who put a lot of money into their stuff and they have these ridiculously cool builds. I think they're awesome. And I do take a little bit of information from each one of those builds, but I don't have that budget. And if I ever do have that budget, hopefully you guys can't tell. Hopefully I still do the same kind of builds, the same kind of stuff. I'm very particular about recycling everything. Literally, my neighbors around here, they're always getting rid of stuff. It's a lake property. So if they don't need it, they don't want to take it home. The lake property is where all their home trash goes. They bring it to the lake. Well, when they're done there, I just got an air compressor today. Somebody was throwing it out. So forever, my goal is to just keep recycling and reusing stuff that nobody else wants and making it into something that we all have fun with. Okay. Again, the manifolds fit. So I can tell you that unless the shorties are shorter than manifolds and can pancake themselves into a probably 1/4 to 1/2 inch size slot between the starter and the frame, I don't think any of those are going to help me. What would be great is just flip them upside down and shoot them out the top, but then that gives away the whole stealthiness of the truck. So what I'm going to have to do is either create an exhaust that goes out and around the frame, or figure out how to reinforce the frame and cut a hole in it. Because that's where we're at right now, is the exhaust dumps directly at the starter and the frame, and there's only about a 1/2 inch of a gap. And there's not enough room to do a turn and go back or a turn and go out. So I'll figure it out. And when I figure it out, you guys will see it on the channel. Oh, if only I had either one of those. Just kidding, Goose. I have both of those. Not really a minivan. I have a shorty van. Inevitable Jim could. It's probably going to be a bit before he comes down here, and I'm not driving to Iowa right now. A couple of subwoofers. I got a few of those laying around. I'd rather hear an engine over my stereo. All right, keep going, keep going. Hey, there we go. There's a merch plug. I wear the shirt and people don't know who I am. And they say, "What does your shirt say?" And I tell them, and they go, "I really misread that." And I said, "That's the point of the shirt." And then they still don't get it because they don't realize I'm buff. So anyway. Yeah, I had that problem the other day. I went to the scrap yard to drop off scrap and maybe make a few bucks, right? And I almost came home with some Pontiac engines, but they were like 301s. Yeah. Nobody cares. The dump provides. Maybe Mitchell. I don't know. If you guys see the video and you see what I'm working with, I will listen to what you have to say. You put it in a comment. I read every comment, and I even try to comment on almost every comment. Sometimes I miss some because YouTube doesn't show me all of them. But what I'll say is I have this much room between the flange of the exhaust manifold and the frame. And if you look where the starter is, let's just go with the driver's side, because that's really the tight side as it is, because we're going to have steering column and everything else. Between the starter and the frame, there's about a 1/2 inch gap. So I obviously can't go through there. Going back is not going to help because everything gets real tight with the torsion bars that go through and the transmission. Forward probably won't do us any good either. So my thought was, I don't want to raise the engine. So the other option is to do a different shorty header, maybe if it's short enough, or make custom headers that literally come out and then down and then go outside the frame rails, like through the fender wells and down the outside of the frame rails. Yeah. Wisconsin Anderson's got it. There you go. That's kind of where I'm thinking. Let's see. Yep. Mad Scientist, same thing. Stick them way out. That's all custom, and it'll come later, maybe. You guys are on the same page. Thank you, Metal Art Customs, for dropping in. Have a great premiere, and I appreciate having you as a subscriber. Yep. So that was the thing, Rick, is do I really want to take these two Pontiac 301s home just because I know they'll run? They're Pontiacs. They'll run. I was tempted. But at the same time, it's like, let's see, I can go home with $100 or I can pay them and then have to deal with two 301s. If they gave them to me for free, I'd take them, but they're not going to because they're scrappers. It's money. So I also wanted them, but I didn't want to pay for them. Hey, we all love Pontiacs. You don't have to be old to love a Pontiac. Some of my youngest subscribers, friends, they just graduated high school and they have killer Pontiacs. So we all love a good Pontiac. You know what, though? Thanks for the support, Gunther. They might not have appreciated it, but I appreciate it. Rick, I agree. $100 in the pocket was better. I used some of it to buy Becca dinner tonight. And the rest I'm probably going to spend at the pick and pull. Ooh, that's not necessarily old. That's just quality. Maybe they don't teach all that anymore, but other than the safety issue, why not? Because I feel like a lot of the stuff that we used to do, whether it was safer or not or whatever, some of it was better. There's a Taco Bueno around here? I don't think so. I think we have a Taco John's in Veneta. There's Taco Bell in Veneta. I don't know what Grove has. I know Grove has Arby's. But no, I took her to our local restaurant. It's kind of lake people only. I mean, anybody can go to it, but it's really just lake people that go there. It's one of the last places that Toby Keith came to have dinner, and he got up on stage and sang, and he passed away just shortly after that. So it's cool. It's where I met the gal who played Pippi Longstocking on the TV show. She has a house down here and literally sat right next to me. I'm not name dropping. I'm just saying mostly lake people, and we all hang out, have dinner, that kind of thing. So I'm not saying they don't have them here, Rick. I'm saying I don't think there's one within 20 to 30 minutes of me. Tacos anywhere is good, but so where we're at on the lake, there's several restaurants that have, road access and lake access. And so one of them is a little Mexican joint, and it's driving there takes less than 5 minutes to drive there. And by boat, if your boat's in the water, it would probably take you 5 minutes to go by boat from where I'm at. But we don't have a marina where I'm at. So we'd have to put the boat in the water. Then we'd have to, go all the way over there and then tie the boat up, and we can just drive over. But they have $2 tacos. That's yummy. I like that. Here's an idea. Where did that idea come from? Did you just come up with that, Tom? Autograph the Pontiac flag, come up with a raffle idea. Could be a good moneymaker. Well, here's the thing about raffles. The ones that give away cars and money and all that, that's all handled by a third party. You have to pay them money to handle it because there's so many legalities with giveaways and sweepstakes and that kind of stuff. If I just pick out a name and say, okay, you have a comment, so I'm going to send you a t-shirt, that's one thing. But if I do like a giveaway or a sweepstakes and you have to participate by buying merch or buying a ticket, there's laws that govern all of that. And basically you can get yourself in a lot of trouble doing one of those. So I'd rather give away stickers and hats and shirts to people when I see them. And maybe we'll do a live stream where I do give some stuff away. That might be today. Hold on a second. Wait, blow the dust off of this. It's the inevitable Jim. You're here just in time, Jim. Okay. Who was that? That was Tom. He wants me to give something away. Like, it's a great idea. And I could, in fact, just sign that and just put it in somebody's merch. That flag is the one I used all the way on the Pontiac Power Hour podcast. That was the flag I had in the background most often. I love that flag. I would hate to get rid of it, but I would sign it and give it away because I can always buy another one. It wouldn't be the one, but would anybody really know? Oh, I'm missing things. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, Brandon knows. Hello, Woody's Garage. Yeah, then that's federal. That's right, Patrick. Yeah. Here's what I'll say. Mike's in my old grinder. I mean, I could probably fix it, but did you see the one I got? That thing is killer. That thing's awesome. No, hers was Bitcoin. I saw a question. I want to answer it. Robert. Yes, I do. Stand by. Give me 10 seconds. I went and picked up my van the other day, and it's still sitting, waiting, saying, come and get me. I mean, she's pretty. Yeah, Jim, they want you to rebuild my Edelwalk. It's brand new out of the box, and it's already leaking. I don't want to build it. I'm going to just put another one on there. Okay. Rick, maybe. I've actually had a lot of blessing. When I give away, I give a lot. I've given cars away to people, not for YouTube, just because somebody needed a car. I give them a car. Like I had a little Ford, Escort wagon that I picked up for next to nothing. I got it running, put a new transmission in it, put some new tires on it, drove it around. It was just a great little car, got 30 some miles per gallon. And this little couple had a baby and they were having hard times. It was Christmas. So I gave them a car. I didn't know them, never met them. Just somebody told me about them and I gave them a car. That comes back tenfold. I did the same thing for one of my rental houses. I found out that somebody that I knew, they contacted me in the town where my rental house was and said, this person's house burned down. They didn't have insurance. I mean, get insurance if you don't have it, right? For whatever reason, the perfect storm of situations happened and their house was destroyed and they had no recourse. They have no way to recoup. And so the town got together and generated enough money to cover basically what I had into my rental property. So I really wasn't out anything, but I didn't make any money either. And then I also donated all the furniture and everything else. And so that person then had a house free and clear, didn't know anybody, anything. And I told her first thing, go get insurance on it. Still living in that house. And the idea being, it does come back to you. Oh, see, when Becca helps load the orders, she throws extra stuff in there. Here's what we're going to do, guys. Tom has inspired me. You guys saw me go all the way over there to get it. I bought a few of these a while back. Why? Because you guys see me use them in the channel. This is new. You can see it's still in the box. Still in the plastic. Okay. Never been opened. This is a NoCo Boost 1000 amp. This is good for starting most of your vehicles. I use the 2000 amp because it's bigger and I can get 4 or 5 jump starts out of it versus 2 or 3. But I'm not saying you have to buy merch. But if you do buy merch, or you have bought merch since the last live, this may end up in your box. I'm not trying to inspire you to buy merch. I'm just saying thank you to all you that did buy merch. One of you is going to get a boost pack in your box. I think these are like $100. I don't know. They're absolutely handy. I'll be honest, I bought 3 of them like 6 months ago, and this is the only one I have left because I give all the rest of them away to people around here, because those people help me out too. So, okay, Charlotte's already got one and says they're good. Becca, make a note. Charlotte doesn't need one. Maybe you get 2. I don't know. Somebody at random is going to get one. Hi, Justin. Yep. And yes, Jim, it is Taiwanese junk. So I got a real Edelbrock coming. That was really expensive. It would be cool to fix it just good enough, the old Edelwalk, so that I can use it for other revive and drives. But I wouldn't want to ever leave it in a car full time. Oh, are you trying to do a giveaway? Now, the real trivia question is, where is that a line from? What movie is that a line from? Justin Hill needs one. Okay, Jay wants to know, what is the name of the Lone Ranger's nephew's horse? And I want to know, what famous movie line, what movie is that from? Yeah, Woody's, it's the Edelwalk. It looks exactly like an Edelbrock. I just painted the red on the front of it, and we were going to put lettering on there, but then it started leaking. Oh, Goose, you got it. Goose, did you buy merch? Maybe you need a NOCO boost pack. Maybe. Goose got it. It's from Christmas Story. All right, guys, I've had you on here. Let's see. Oh, maybe he did, Rick. I don't know. Becca says they're going to pick the owner of the NOCO boost. Hey, I'm not saying buy merch. I'm not saying it. But if you want to buy merch and you have already purchased merch and have not gotten it yet, it's probably going to be in the mail, and one of them will have a little something extra in it. So if you get the heavy package, thank you for buying merch, and thank you for supporting Buff's Garage. Victor, everybody knows that. All right, guys, I had the members going from about 5:20-ish until 6:05 when I jumped into this live. We've been going for well over an hour. I appreciate every one of you. You guys are amazing. And I'm definitely still working on Fred, the little farm truck. He got a brake master cylinder today. He's going to get more parts tomorrow. You're going to see more on him, and then we'll bring Falconstein back before Power Tour, and then whatever else I get between now and then, because more craziness is coming, more awesome builds, cars that you love. We'll probably even do a boring car, VW. But anyway, yes, watch Fred, buy some merch. Make sure to share it out if you so choose on whatever social media platform. That does help. Just on here today, just while we were talking, that video has gained over 1,000 views, more than it had when we started talking. So I'll take 1,000 views for an hour any day. That was pretty awesome. So thank you guys for everything. Appreciate your support. And we'll see you next time with Fred the Little Farm Truck.